Hello and welcome to Pro NoCoders Office Hours, episode number 150. I'm here with our members, Thomas, Francisco, Brittany, and Ben, and my Kim. We're going to get started in just a moment, but if this is your first time tuning into a office hours session, what it is we invite our members onto our Zoom, which we broadcast live in several different places, and then they can ask us any questions that they want, and we try to answer about Bubble. You could ask us other questions, but the only one that we're trying to answer really is Bubble questions. And we can't promise to have the answers, but we do promise you won't suffer with your question alone. And I think that counts for something. I know I certainly feel lonely sometimes when I'm trying to get answers when I'm bubbling. So yeah, if you would like to join us, you can go to pronocoders.com. That's our website. Finally finished our rebrand. Oh, but I got to change our logo here. It's good to notice. Yep, you can come on in. Oh, I'm logged in. Look at that. Yeah, you can sign up for free. It's the top right and click on office hours. And then you can see when our office hours are, and you can come in and join us for a session at no charge. And then if you want to join us regularly, the price is $99 per month. And for that, in exchange for $99 per month, you get an office hour or two every single day of the week, Monday through Friday. So that's, 5 to 10 hours of support per week for just $99 per month. We'd love to have you. All right, let's go ahead and get started here. We'll start with Brittany. What's going on?
Okay, I'm going to share my screen. Oh. Okay, so I'm the loan that we were working on, trying to get the date only to show once.
Sure.
So the issue that I'm having is when you did the group date. So because I have this in a back end workflow, I can't reference the group date on the page. So I put a group date here because this is where they will approve it. So I put the group date here and I have the conditional on it and I have it set correctly as a data source. But in the back end, when you separate it, you made two custom workflows. So this is how I had it set up. And you remember we made two different changes to payouts. But you got rid of that with making the group date, on the page.
Got it.
I can't reference it.
But you can.
Back end.
You can click where it says API workflow into the API workflow level.
Where?
Yep, right there.
Here. Okay.
Yep. So just add a date parameter.
Okay. I ended up. I tried to do that, but I think I added in a payout parameter. I knew it was something, but I didn't know how to.
Yep. And now from where you schedule the backend workflow, from the front end, so from the page.
Okay, gotcha.
It's going to require that you add a date into that action. It's where you're scheduling.
Right here.
Yep. See how it's asking for the date? Now you can add that group date there.
Okay, so it'll be the group date. Okay, so now I can get rid of the these two steps, right? Here.
Yes.
Okay. I'm a little nervous because I'm still still a little confused. It was a lot of information. So I made the two.
I'm very it was a lot.
It was a lot. So
if you're wondering what she's referencing, we're going to be putting it up in the vault eventually. So I made Brittany a 30-minute loom explaining what to do. That's the missing piece for anyone who's watching.
Yeah. Okay, so the two custom events, I have it separate. So the other confusing thing was you had the payout being created first, whereas in my app, the
Right.
work order is really being created first. So I was trying to flip, make sure I had it right. So what I
Mhm.
did was, from here, I used this step um, to start the custom one on the create payout. So I have it. I hope this is right because here I can reference just the work order, but here I would have to reference the current workflows payouts work order. I think that's right. And so I have to do that on that step. Then on this step, oh, I was still trying to add in that. So now I don't know what to, I can't remember. Oh,
Got
I
it.
can
So
add a
let's,
date, right? The
yep,
start and end
but
date here.
what we want to do is first like slow down,
Okay.
and then second, we, we want to go back to the button where the approval is happening,
Okay.
because that's when you're going to be scheduling, like adding the payment to the payout, right?
Oh,
So the button approve is
um,
clicked, and then you're going to
mhm.
schedule.
Schedule the payout here.
um so who is clicking that approve button? Is that the
The
business?
Yeah.
The business is clicking the approved button. So why
Mhm.
are we scheduling the auto approve at the end of it? Isn't it already approved?
So okay, so they have an option to either approve it or deny it on that same, well, no, that would be the
Got
deny
it.
button. So hold on, let me see. That's the success. This is just back, this is just sending a message. Make changes to recording. Or I needed it to be completed, the status to be as completed. So I'm really
No, I'm just asking because we're going to be concerned with the auto approve as well. Because when
mhm,
it's auto approved, or when it's approved by the business, that's when you need to either create a payout because it doesn't already exist, or add the work order to an existing payout, right? Like that's
okay,
the
so that's what I did here. So I added this on recently. So this is making changes to the work order. That's so it was first it was only completed. So I put a payout here. I don't know if that's right, but I tried to connect the payout to the work order by adding it here. I'm not sure if that's right, but
how. Okay, so it says parent group work orders payout, but when did you add the payout to the work order?
um I don't know. I thought
I
that
don't think
was
you didn't. Yeah,
okay.
I think you probably didn't. It's okay. So when they click the button to approve the work order, that's when we
Mhm,
need to, um, so you want to charge the credit card, that's fine. And then make changes to the work order and make the status completed, that's fine. I'd go ahead and take out
mhm,
the payout part there.
okay.
Um, and then you're going to display data and pop-up payment success, that's fine. You're going to show the payment success
Mhm,
pop-up. You're going to create the new conversation and a message to tell the
mhm,
freelancer that it's been approved. You're going to make changes to the
mhm.
conversation. I'm guessing you're adding that message to the
That's
conversation.
just to make sure it's because I have it set as a read or unread flow
Read or
or
unread. Okay. Then you're going to
mhm.
make changes to the user. Which user? The other user, the freelancer?
um yeah, as
Okay.
unread.
All right. And then you're going to schedule the send message notification. So that's sending them an email, the freelancer an email.
Mhm.
Okay.
This is sending the business owner an email telling them they have a certain amount of time to um either
Not the
approve.
business owner, the freelancer.
Yeah,
Because this
you're
is,
right. Okay, yeah. Sorry.
okay. And
Yeah.
okay, so you're letting them know both in app
Mm.
and also by email that it's been approved. Okay.
So yeah,
Okay.
different
So far we're
information is
good.
included. Mm-hmm.
So far we're
Okay.
good. Then we're going to schedule the API workflow, schedule payout to freelancer.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And then we're adding a pause, then just move that over.
I put that here for, oh, I added the pause action because when this pop-up was showing up, it was too much information to read. Like it was going away too quickly
Mhm.
before it was processing through all that stuff. So I just added that pause so they would have enough time to, I don't know if that was the
To
proper
read
way to
it.
do it, but yeah.
Okay. We're refreshing the page. Why are you refreshing the page?
Mm, um,
Okay. And
not
then
sure.
creating a new date range. What's that for?
Not sure. It,
Okay.
I think this was something I was playing around. I don't ever go
Okay.
back and delete. I can delete it because this, it looks like this whole thing has been deleted. Yeah,
Okay. That's
yeah.
fine. Yep. And then you're scheduling the auto approve, but I think the auto approve is supposed to happen when the freelancer says, okay, I'm done with this. I don't think you're
Well,
supposed to schedule the auto approve at the end of this sequence.
well, no. So, um, it's not. So whenever the freelancer says I'm done with it, that doesn't mean that it's been approved because, um, the business owner has to make sure that they're okay with what the freelancer turned in.
Right. No,
So,
I'm following that part. The part that I'm confused about is you have the auto approve in case the business
mhm,
owner doesn't check their messages and doesn't come in, so
right,
that the freelancer doesn't go without pay
right, right,
if
right,
they
right,
get ghosted, right?
right.
Okay. So I think this API workflow is actually scheduled on the click that the freelancer does, not the click that,
Oh, got you. You're right.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So where would I? That would be on another page. I know where to put that. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So I would put that on your list to move that.
Okay.
Okay. Now I'm clear on what is happening in this workflow. Then go ahead and click on step 10.
Mm,
So we're going to send in the date, which is what we need to know to figure out if there's a payout or not. And we're going to
mhm,
send the work order
mhm,
in and we're going to schedule it at current date and time. Okay, so all of that's fantastic. We're done with this page.
mhm.
We can go to the back end.
Okay. So this is
So you're going to create, now we need to do this. Yeah, now is when we might need to play around with those custom
mhm,
workflows, is because we already have the work order, right? We just
mhm.
have to determine if there's an existing payout for the correct pay date range,
Right.
right? So um, go back to go back to that one.
Mhm,
And then instead of click to add an action, and you want to trigger a custom event, and you want to create a payout, and the workflow thing is going to be do a search for payouts where the owner is the
with
current
the-
user.
So so when you say on the business owner, or are we talking about the freelancer who's getting paid?
Right, the owner of the work order is going to be the business owner, right? So
Okay.
you would want created was created by current user. Go ahead and delete that row.
So created
Yeah. And the reason I abstract that out is because during testing, and then if you ever have to go in and help someone out from the back end, then you can manually assign the owner to be a particular user. Because if you ever created a payout in the back end for a user, it would have you as the creator, not them.
Right.
Right.
Gotcha.
So that's why I usually abstract that out. Okay. And then
Okay.
add a new constraint. And then the payout start would equal, and then so instead of doing this in custom events, I'd probably just make it a separate API workflow, because then you can send that date in. So just right click where it says create payout on the custom event.
Right here.
Nope. Custom event, bottom row of the actual like workflows.
Oh, gotcha.
So right click on it and then replace by another type. And then select API workflow. Yeah, there you go. All right. And then the API workflow, you can call it create payout. And then the add a new parameter, and the first one, yeah, go out and add the date in there.
Now we need to do payout, right? Or work order. My bad.
Nope, you don't need to do
Okay.
the payout because you're going to create the payout in this one, right?
Right.
Okay, so create a new payout and then go
Okay.
to, I think only when I'm trying to think how we did this before.
So
I think I'm gonna start making more.
Let me reference it real quick. Hang on a sec.
I was trying to do the same thing.
Payouts.
So I think it was like do a search for
Oh, I see what I did. All right.
but then we ended up changing it at the end. That's why.
I'm just trying to think how we're going to translate this over into the back end. So I think what we need to do is on the original API workflow that gets scheduled.
Here or in the
Yep, there.
front end?
Yep,
Okay.
I think you're right. I think you need to add a parameter called payout.
Okay.
Hang on, I might be taking us on a dead end. Yeah, I think I'm taking us on a dead end. Would you mind if I take over and drive?
Oh, sure.
Okay. Which page is the original workflow in?
It's on the work card order down at the bottom in the reusable element.
This one?
And then under the elements tree. Oh, you're just gonna duplicate. Got it.
Okay, so we know that one's good. And then we come in here to the back end workflows. And it's this one that we're doing, right?
Mhm.
So if I'm doing what we did before, then I'm going to make changes to a thing. And the thing I want to change is do a search for payouts where the created by equals current user and the payout start equals date. First item. So that's the first thing. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to schedule to create the payout. The question is whether that should be a custom event or an API workflow. I don't really think, I think it needs to be an API workflow because I think we need to send in more than one thing into it. And with an API workflow, I can send in a date, a payout, type payout. And then I need to send in probably a work order. All right, and then here, what I'm going to do is create the payout and we'll fix this, but only when the payout is empty. And then I want to schedule is empty. Then I'm going to schedule trying to think how to do this elegantly. Because then I need to make, so if I go in here, I made the changes to the payout. The reason we make the changes without actually making any changes for anyone who's wondering is because when you make a change to something and you don't change it, it still returns it as the result of step one. So what I did in the prototype I created for Brittany was on the button click, I didn't actually make any changes. I just called this payout if it exists here. And then I triggered the custom event to create the payout using the result of step one. So if I, and then I only created the payout when that wasn't empty. And then I see what I did. I had two different triggers depending on whether it was empty or not. So that's what we need to do here. And so schedule the payout, we make changes here, and then we're going to not a custom event. We're going to delete this stuff. Make changes to payout, and we're going to trigger or schedule the API workflow create payout. Scheduled date and time is going to be current date and time. The date is going to be date. The payout is going to be the result of step one. And the work order is going to be work order. Then it's going to come here and it's going to create a new payout only when the payout is
Okay.
empty. And then here we're going to trigger the next thing, which is going to update
The work order
hmm?
or the payouts. I'm trying to follow, make sure I follow.
Yeah, no, I know it's complicated, and actually this might not be prime material for office hours. So we might move on and come back
Okay.
to it. But the create the new payout, and now we just have to take, if we've created a new one, or if we have one, we need to be able to take whichever one is not empty and send it to, we have to make updates to the work order and we have to make updates to the payout, right? So, yeah, I'm going to have to think on how to do this the most elegantly since we're sending it into the back end. But the idea remains the same. It's like we're going to create the payout. If it doesn't exist, then we're going to go here and we're not creating a new work order. We just have to make changes to the work order. And then we have to make changes to the actual payout. So we have to figure out the most elegant way of sending the actual payout, whichever it is, the one that was sent in, if it exists, or the one that we created. We have to be able to grab that for sure and know that we have it and then send it in to, that's what we need to update with the work order. And then we need to update the work order to have that payout. So that's where we are with that. We can work on it some more tonight.
Okay. All right.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah. So let's see. No one else said for sure that they had questions. So I'm going to just open it up. Whoever has questions.
I do. I'm back.
Yes, Francisco, please go ahead.
All right. So just following along, yes, what we were discussing, and I thought about, I sank in a little bit. So here we are at, when I click the button, then add training, this is what is going to happen. I have like the schedule API workflow, which is what we created, right? And then we have here the parameters here, and these are what I'm putting as parameters are the inputs that the user is putting there, right? Before. So then we come here to this second part, to the API workflow, which actually here the thing is going to be created, right? So I'm saying that create a new Diário Treinos, and I'm setting up, we set up here the user with the parameters that we set up before over there. The only thing here that it's happening is that it's not being posted. I have a repeating group in a different screen here, in the screen where the person actually goes there and inputs the training. And I come here, for example, resistance, practice 6, whatever. And I'm gonna just put the date and whatever. Oh shoot, I hate when this happens. And it's not printing on my database. And I think that it's because of the names here that are changed, that are different. And my question was, should I change my names on my database?
Well, it won't.
For like
So hang on. It's not going to create it until the date, right?
Oh.
So go into your logs, go on the, click logs, and then click scheduler, and then click show. And that's where you'll see all of those if it worked.
Yeah,
it didn't work.
Good. Yeah, it didn't.
No. Okay. So we're scheduling it, but go back. So go back to the page where you were. Oh, are you testing in live or development?
In development. Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure that we were looking at the logs for development as well. I think we were. Yeah, that should be fine. So just click show one more time.
Here on logs or
Yep,
or
on
in
logs.
the okay.
Yeah, just click show one more time.
Okay.
Okay. You're not zoomed in, are you? On your
No.
no? Okay. All right.
So
Because that's weird because
it should,
you're on a
right?
paid
Yeah.
you're on a paid plan?
Yes, I am.
Okay. All right. Then yep. So then go back to the page where you were scheduling it, where you were testing the preview page. Okay, so go ahead and click there. And then you were clicking on what day and time.
Oh, I just randomed it. Task
Okay.
7. So let's put like today.
Yep.
Like here is 3:30. So let's put 3:30 or 4.
Let's do 4.
And then I would come here and add practice.
Okay, and now let's go back to the logs. Because that's where it would show up and it's not showing up. But I feel like there's something we're missing. Okay, let's go.
API workflows. The thing that I don't know if it's wrong is that I have here this is like how it's written on my database. So it should be a match there. And what I got confused is because here on the other, when I inspect the button, it's pretty much, I think it's all right, because here I'm saying that par treino equals the drop downs, which actually I'm referring to the drop down, which is actually in the screen. So for example,
yeah,
this
no,
one is
that's
like,
all.
yeah.
That's all fine. Then can you tell me do I have access to your app or no?
I don't think so, but I can
I will
access
send
you.
it to you. Yeah, I'm gonna send it to you in the chat, the email. And then just let me know when I should refresh.
All right. Privacy, no, settings, collaborations, got a user invite. All right, I just sent you, and now I can send you just the link. Or do you get anything by
Yep, that's
email?
fine. No, I get it should show right up. Yep, I see it. Here, I'll share my screen. I'm basically going to do what I just told you to do.
All right. Thank you.
Oh, it's not showing. Switch live.
I didn't check if there is like in between like the 160 something errors that I have on my app, if it's showing up something over there.
Oh yeah, that could be something. Let's switch back to dev and go here. So which page is the click on?
It's the it's a 2.3, 2_3, Diário do Atleta on the right. Yep, there.
Yep. Okay, and then which one of these?
It's the adicionar treino. It's the second row on the left, on the right. Sorry, on the last one, on the second row.
This one?
When adicionar, yeah.
So this is just going to show on the screen.
Yeah.
I'm going to schedule this to happen at date picker's value. And then the date picker's value should always be in the future, not in the past. Do you have a limitation on the date picker for that?
No,
Already?
I don't, but it would be smart for me to put it.
Okay. And then drop down. These should all be fine. So I don't see a problem with this. And then we go to I wish it would let me open it in a new page. So we're sending all of this information in.
Yeah.
And to ignore this, we're going to come here and ignore this. Refresh your page and try again. Or who am I running as?
What do you mean?
Which user am I running as?
Oh, I think as none, or maybe as me, as Francisco Sananges. Go to the page where it's like in the view, the preview mode. There should in the header. I left the user.
Where, then which page do I
The
use to run
point-
as?
Yeah, the page is like 2.3, like the diary.
Right.
Yep, that one.
I just need to know which user I can preview as, which one's set up correctly. Does it matter?
No, it doesn't matter, but you can try as Francisco Sananges, which is over there. Let me see, like.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, you see up here, you're like running as Francisco Sananges. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Okay. So I did change something. So if I click here, and I pick today and I pick 12 is in the future and I say here. So now I should be able to go in here into the logs and it should show it's scheduled and it doesn't. So yeah, we definitely want to check out.
Yeah, let's go for
These,
someone
but-
else's question and I'll check that like more patiently during the day. Then show up tomorrow.
Yeah, there should.
If I didn't figure it out, yeah, we already did a lot.
Yeah, no, it should be working. Like we've like that. I can't see anything wrong.
That doesn't, yeah.
Just double check the inputs, but it's all resolving, which is weird. Yeah, and then it looks right to me, is what I'm saying. So
Yeah. Oh, maybe just a question here. Maybe it could be because here in this inputs, if you check, I changed them and I put like result of step 1 there on the API workflow.
oh, here
But it shouldn't be, yeah, because instead of just putting like a daytime.
Yeah, but we're not even seeing that the API workflow is scheduled to run, which is how we would test that. So we wouldn't be concerned about that until it's scheduled it for 7 days later. I'm just interested to see that this one is scheduled. And for some reason,
it's not
in the
scheduling.
logs, it's not showing as scheduled. So, and that doesn't make any sense to me because I've never had that particular problem before. So,
All right, I'll
Okay.
check on that and we'll see tomorrow.
okay, sounds
Will
good.
be a better day. Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you.
No worries. Who would like to go next?
I feel like I've got a super easy one, but if
Okay.
you feel like a quick win, then try.
I would love a quick win at this point because I've had two non-quick wins so far.
Okay, cool. All right. Let's
Rough
go.
day today. Rough day.
Rough day. No, it's all right. We'll figure it all out.
So I stupidly on Friday went, you know what I'm going to do? Recreate my whole app in the new responsive editor.
I love you for it.
Yeah,
You're so brave. Congratulations. You're really brave.
which is,
Wow.
it's working out okay. Like it's actually, we're doing all right, but it's not as fast as what I would have liked it to have been. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, gotcha.
Have you worked much in it yet?
I've been there when Eli went through. So in episode 148, which you were there, Eli did the dashboard kind of recreation. And then I was there when Eli, over the weekend on Saturday, we did a special event, which you attended. Thank you, Ben, for being there. Yeah, so if any of you missed it, Eli on Saturday did a special event where he cloned the Bubble homepage using the new responsive editor. And if you happen to be watching us live and you'd like to catch those replays, check for episode number 148 and then the special edition from over the weekend. And then I did attend a webinar by one of the Bubble Bootcamp instructors yesterday that was kind of a bit more like it was a bit more teaching than showing, if that makes sense. So that's what I've done. Have I done it myself? No, but I actually felt a little more confident after sitting through my third or fourth hour of watching people do it. So I can see what I can help with.
Is that boot camp online? Because I haven't been able to find much so far.
Yeah, it should be on YouTube now. I'll see if I can grab you the link. Let me go. I'll check my email real quick and see if I can grab you guys the link.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. The issue that I'm having is that for some reason, even elements that are hidden seem to be the ones that come up at the start. So like Brand's dashboard is hidden. Why am I able to click on that? And then when I go to say talent and click on that, it comes up as Brand still. And it just seems really weird that elements that are hidden and not shown are still clickable. Like everything, especially on a one-page app where things that are hidden, everything is still available on the page. Which makes it super time consuming to try
really
and click
tricky
around.
Yeah, that sounds really, really tricky. I think I probably wouldn't click on the page. Correct me if I'm wrong. So did you do this by using the convert button?
No, I rebuilt it from scratch.
So you're rebuilding it from scratch. Okay. And then are you still stacking things one on top of each other depth wise on the page?
Yes.
Okay. Stop doing that.
Why?
Stop doing that.
No.
It's a terrible practice. That's why. I
You
know
load
that
it down the page, don't you, and then hide.
Yes, because one of the great advantages of the new responsive editor is that it makes it easy to do that. And in fact, if you're using the responsive editor correctly, I'm going to go out on a limb as somebody who probably doesn't know what they're talking about yet and say that it's designed to do that. It's supposed to be that way. Is you're supposed to build vertically down on the page, stacking things, not depth-wise on the page.
It's so hard when I've got a year of depth, design.
I know something
Yeah.
else that you're running into, Ben, is and I have just learned this the hard way in a couple different ways now, is I don't think rebuilding something from scratch and trying to achieve the same exact thing from scratch is a worthwhile pursuit. I think you end up wasting a bunch of time and experiencing a lot of different heartache. In this case, it's just design, so it might be different. But in
Yeah.
the cases where we're talking about any kind of logic, which there's some logic when you're hiding and showing things on the page, and you're changing the paradigm with which you're building because you're using the responsive engine, to me, it sounds like it's going to be painful, and probably what I would recommend for quality and for sanity purposes is to scope it out anew, right? Which is not what you want to hear.
Oh no, like I've got the whole app that I originally did is there. This was essentially just a project for me to play with it and see what I could
To
come
play
up
with the
wasn't it?
responsive. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I would not be putting things on top of each other as much as possible. I break that rule every time I tell somebody that's a hard and fast rule. I end up breaking it 3 minutes later. So I won't say that it's a hard and fast rule, but for the most part, you're not going to stack elements depth-wise on the page anymore.
Okay.
I'm
Yes,
sorry.
boss. I'll try.
Yeah.
At least you didn't spend all weekend rebuilding your app like that.
Callum, did he spend the whole weekend? Or you're saying, or he could? CEO at the circle.
He said he did. Oh, we've all been there where we spent ages doing something and then Tonya comes on and goes, oh, no, hang on, that's completely the wrong way to do it.
Sorry.
We do that, Tonya.
Sorry. Well, in this case, I don't even think it's just a like not my preferred practice. I would say I think that the responsive editor isn't going to let you do it effectively, which is kind of what Ben is saying and noticing on his own.
It's taking about double the time because everything is on the page constantly. It doesn't matter if it's hidden or not, it's there. So
that's probably a bug, but it also is pointing out one of the reasons why you don't do that.
Yeah. So the only way you can kind of see, I can't click on anything here, even though things are hidden, because something is at the front and everything. So I have to go through every time and select parent-child for any element that you want to click on.
Yeah, that's not the experience that they want you to be having. That wasn't their intention.
I hope not.
All right. Is there anything else I can help with, Ben? I feel like that wasn't a quick win either, because I couldn't.
It gave me an answer, it definitely, that's, I'm not suffering alone here.
Okay, good.
Did you manage to find that the tutorial that? Yeah,
you were talking and I can't listen and read at the same time. I'm very limited that way. So let me see if I can find it here. So it's going.
It does seem like the new, Callum, did you have a play with it, the responsiveness, the new engine?
Yes, I converted my app using the converter and it gave me 1,139 errors. So I freaked out, contacted Bubble Support, and they very kindly told me how to undo my massive fuck up. So yeah, it really didn't go well when I tried doing it, and I've avoided it ever since.
Right.
Yeah, it did not go well. But yeah, I don't get it. Like, I mean, it's probably something I'll pick up, but I don't get, like, there's no like squares on the side of these boxes to change the size of things, or it just really confused me. So I haven't gone back to it.
The repeating group thing for me is still I don't understand why that was changed.
What have they done with it? I didn't even. Well, I just freaked out as soon as I compared my app, so I didn't actually have to play with it. What have they done with repeating groups?
You basically don't select like how many rows and columns anymore.
Okay. Oh, you don't?
It's it's very different.
It is very
Um,
different, but it's very cool. It's going to let you do so many more things that you couldn't do before. So it's a different paradigm to think within, but I'm very, very excited about it. And then this is the webinar.
awesome.
I just sent you the link in the chat for everyone. So he did a very good job, I think, of breaking it down and going like from the beginning of like what is Flexbox and some of the limitations that the new Flexbox editor in Bubble doesn't allow you to do everything that Flexbox allows you to do, but he kind of pointed those out. And then he started with like the recreating a simple login page, and then he moved into a dashboard page, and then he moved into repeating groups, working with repeating groups. So very worthwhile. If you go to YouTube and you search Zubair bubble.io, he's one of the Bubble bootcamp instructors. And so he has had a little more time with the responsive editor, the new one, in order to even prepare for this class. So I found it very worthwhile. So yeah.
I messaged a bunch of people that I'd done courses with to see, you know, are they going to do new ones or what's happening? Apparently everyone's waiting for it to kind of come out of beta and be a little bit less buggy, and then people will start doing more and more on it, I think.
I don't know. I've watched Eli now for several hours, and I watched Zubair for a couple hours, and there were some buggy things, but generally it's much better. So yeah, I definitely think, yeah, wait a few weeks, but I don't think it's going to be long before this is just how we do things in Bubble. So I'm planning for our boot camp that starts later today. I'm planning for us to start like our first week. We're gonna build with the new responsive engine, just because it's going to be critical to your professional career as a bubbler, whether you're building for yourself or other people. It's going to become super important that you understand how it works and how to achieve what you're aiming for on a page. So
Totally. How does it integrate with Canvas? How have you found that?
it doesn't. So Canvas is all built on the old responsive editor. It's probably not a good idea. I haven't tested it, but it's probably not a good idea to try to convert. I mean, we can try. I'm sitting right here. I have one. So we can go in here to the Canvas page
Am I being
here.
super annoying about the new editor yet?
No, not at all. But I actually totally expect, that's why one of the reasons why I did that workshop yesterday is I totally expect that a lot of the questions that we're going to get for Pro NoCoders into the next few weeks and beyond are all going to be about, how do I get this thing to work on the page? I used to be able to do it in old Bubble. How do I do it in new Bubble? So I completely expect that's the case. So, okay, so here is account settings. I don't think I have any permissions for this one that would prevent me from seeing it. So I'm just going to preview here.
Can you still create apps? Like if you go create a new app, does it give you the option to use the old one, or do you have to use the new responsive editor now?
No. So it's per page.
Yeah, no, but I mean, if you start and like at this point, have they changed it over so that if you like create a new app, it automatically gives you the new responsive editor and everything?
No. It still asks you. I think it's still, so that's something else that we can try here. So if I
I'm
just
pretty
do
sure
a
it's
new
still in
app,
legacy.
yeah, new app, resting. I need to rest. Testing options. Start from a template.
Just as we're talking, I got a notification on a YouTube channel that I follow, how to create vertical scrolling with bubbles in your responsive engine. So there you go.
There you go. Yep. Lots of people are going to be making lots of content for it. So
that's actually a Bubble official one. So that's actually on their YouTube now.
So start with a blank and close the assistant. And so here we have, so it gave me a blank page, but I still have to convert if I want to. Yeah, so for now, it's not starting everybody off in the new responsive, which makes sense because technically they're still in beta. So, all right. But back to this other thing that we were talking about. So I previewed this and it didn't. Okay, so this is what it looks like right now in the old. So now I'm going to do this funny thing here. And it says, upgrade your page. This action can't be undone. Your revision history will be reset. Nope, I'm going to go all in. Let's do it. Thinking about it. I think it's thinking about it. Did I break it? Is this what was happening for you, Callum?
No, yeah, but it just
Wait
backfired.
for it. Wait
No,
for
no,
okay.
no,
Your
it
page
was
is
not that.
being upgraded. Okay.
It was not that quick.
So
To be
my
fair, I don't think
page.
I don't think it was a responsive thing that broke it. I think it was when it tried to make a copy of the index that it just crashed it because there's so many elements on the page.
Got it. Yeah, I didn't try to make a copy of it. This isn't a super heavy canvas page. It's just, but it is a canvas page. So this is the only time I have ever wanted the Jeopardy music. I would sing it for you, but I'm not going to put you through that. And I never know when it's like when Bubble is hung up or if it's still working.
There was those 2 episodes where I think Justin brought in a bunch of music and sound effects, wasn't it?
Right, exactly. And I personally don't like that stuff. So I was like, stop, please stop. Please don't do that. Yeah, but this is like one time where I don't want to leave the page. Let's see here. Well, should I hit the refresh button and see where we land, or should I wait still?
Probably wait. It has been taking a little while to upgrade.
Okay.
So do you think, I mean, will Canvas work on, I mean, it's such a big job, wouldn't it, to redevelop Canvas with the new
Oh
engine?
yeah, but they've known that they were gonna have to do that for like ever since. I mean, Bubble is not going to go back from this.
No.
Bubble is not going to take this away. Bubble has invested, I don't know how much money, time, resources, goodwill, good faith with the people who Bubble into this new responsive engine. So this is the new way to Bubble. There's no going back. Canvas has to adapt. It doesn't have a choice. How long it's going to take for Canvas to adapt, I can tell you one thing. I don't think it's going to take as long as it took for Bubble to do the responsive engine. So let's see here. This is a Canvas built page now on the new editor. And I honestly, I mean, I don't see too much difference to start. So that doesn't look as sharp as Canvas would do it.
You're previewing the page though, it will still be, everything works pretty much fine as soon as you upgrade an app. It's just then resetting everything within it to work with the new responsive settings pretty much.
Yeah, but I know, but some people said like this just looks a little off, right? Like, but I didn't quite understand your point, Callum, I guess.
So I converted one of my other pages and it was absolutely fine. Like that, like when you convert it, nothing bad happened. It's just you then got to basically sort all the settings out. So it sorts out to the way it is at the moment. So I think that's what the conversion engine does. But then if you try and change anything, that's when things go wrong. Mine came up with a load of issues because something happened midway through conversion that went wrong. My thoughts exactly. That looks fine though, doesn't it?
Looks totally fine, doesn't it? Tonya, I think you're on mute.
No, I don't think it looks fine. I think it looks bad. I don't think this is up to Canvas standards. So I would say there's definitely like some work to do. But I expect the work will probably be done pretty swiftly on Canvas's side. So yep.
Cool.
And they knew that work was going to come. They just didn't know when it was going to come. So all right, well, it's time for us to wrap up office hours for today. We're going to move into after hours. If you'd like to join us for after hours, where we hang out and talk about things that we don't want to share live, you have to be a member. And to do that, you have to go to pronocoders.com and sign up and join the membership. We hope to see you soon. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and we'll be back tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific time for Office Hours episode number 151.